Late Friday, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. announced he was suspending his independent bid for president and endorsing Donald Trump. Prior to dropping out, RFK Jr. had struggled to break through major polling requirements to qualify for the upcoming presidential debates. Mr. Kennedy then joined Mr. Trump on stage at his rally in Arizona.
And don't you want a president who's going to get us out of the wars and who's going to rebuild the middle class in this country? And he told me that he wanted to end the censorship because the whole basis of American democracy is the free flow of information. And we know that a government that can silence its opponents has license for any kind of atrocity. And can you think of any time that you can look back in history and say that the people who were censoring were the good guys?
And this morning, Andrew Donaldson from OrdinaryTimes.com explained the impact that RFK's endorsement could have on the presidential race.
Trump and his opponents coming to a detente after the fact isn't anything new. We've seen that quite a few times, including at the convention with his former opponent, Nikki Haley. This seemed pretty inevitable, though. There's a lot of overlap between the folks that like RFK Jr. and like Donald Trump, so it seemed like this is kind of where it was going to head all along. It is a little bit surprising, but if you look at the data and what's happened over the last 6-7 weeks, it's not surprising. The Democratic Party, a lot of folks were looking for a third option, so RFK was getting a little more traction that way. Now that Vice President Kamala Harris has consolidated her base, his polling numbers have gone down. It's now a two-person race, in all honesty, and he didn't have a chance. So the fact that he had more overlap with Trump meant that he went with him. Polling-wise, is it going to matter? Probably not much, because, again, that overlap, a lot of those folks probably would have voted for Trump anyway. I don't think this is going to be a huge thing. It'll be a PR hit. It'll be something that they can praise, and you got a Kennedy because of the name that legacy brings. Polling-wise, at the polls, I'm not sure it's going to matter a whole lot. As far as boosting the Trump campaign, this is probably going to be something that plays really well with their base, but because of his views before, especially controversial views on things like vaccines and some of his background, it's probably not going to be something that helps with the middle voters, the moderates, and the undecided independents, and that's the group that Trump really, really needs. His base is pretty well consolidated. This will be very popular with his base. It'll play very well in his friendly media. I don't know if it gets those moderate voters that he's going to need to win the actual election, and that's how this may not matter all that much.